The Russian spearhead lasted 20 minutes. Tanks, IFVs, cruise missiles, stopped cold. You clicked for collapse, you're in the right place. We'll break down how a sub-launched missile volley and AT-80/BMP thrust ran straight into a layered Ukrainian trap, S-300/Patriot intercepts, MiG/Su distractions, and a mine drone kill box in open ground. Stay to see how FPVs picked engine decks and turret rings, how recon drones fed gunners in real time, and how the battalion's velocity vanished. Want to understand the playbook that turned momentum into wreckage? This is the story. A cruise missile wave and AT-80 thrust hit the line, so why did the clock stop at 20 minutes? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The opening move looks textbook. Sub-launched cruise missiles lift out to hunt radars and depots. Ground columns form up, T-80s up front, BMPs tucked in, engineers in trail, rolling behind a hard drum of artillery. The axis angles toward the Avdiivka-Holyuka seam, that familiar hinge where past assaults try to pry for a fast breach. But then the sky stops being open ground. Altitude gates snap shut. High flyers meet long-range interceptors. Lower down, point defenses and shoulder-fired teams force missiles to bend, dip, and waste energy in tougher paths. Meanwhile, fighter flights buzz the board, not to strike, but to pull eyes off the real vectors. Decoy air sorties scramble focus and timing. The script flips. At the top tier, long-range systems cut into the cruise stream. Below that, short-range batteries and manpads chew at anything that tries to slip the gate, so missiles fly low, hug terrain, and arrive late or not at all. MiG-29 and Su-27 patrols add noise to the air picture, dragging trackers across sectors and forcing operators to toggle priorities at the wrong moments. The net result is simple. The first punch lands light. On the ground, Russian recon gear expects a fixed wall to punch through. It meets something else. Ukraine runs a live network, small drones sweep ahead and sideways, pass bearings to guns and electronic teams, and update every few seconds. You can hear it in the radio calls, short, clipped, linked. Batteries are not blind. Forward teams are not guessing. The defense thinks as one piece. Drones float above the thrust and count rhythm. They clock spacing between tanks, how fast the line breathes, which gaps widen under fire. When Russian guns light to cover the advance, counter-battery radars wake up and trace arcs back to their sources. It's fast. A gun that fires gets marked. A gun that holds fire still gets plotted by launch signatures and dust. Either way, the grid fills. Armor counts on speed. But the sensor web moves faster. Steel sprints, data sprints and multiplies. Every kilometer the column gains, the network gains a fresh angle, a new track, a cleaner shot. Speed shifts from metal to signal. The lead drivers do not see it. The operators above them do. Now the haze comes on. Electronic warfare units jam the air. Radar locks smear. Mid-course guidance wobbles. The second missile ripple loses bite, with warheads that should hit clean instead wandering into terrain or being caught by short-range shots at the last second. In that knife fight, the defender chooses where the next shock lands. Not the attacker. You can chart the stall by minutes. The artillery roll begins to thin, shells lose cadence, and the advance slows to let sappers probe forward. That's when small drones sail lower and start tagging rolls, lead tanks, command tracks, ammo carriers, so each response has a purpose. The column's shape, once tight, turns lumpy. A few vehicles drift off axis to dodge hits and form pockets. Those pockets break the plan more than enemy fire. This wall does not look like a wall. No trench stopped them. No single weapon did the job. Layered air defense sealed the upper air. Short-range shooters and missiles bent the rest. Drones stripped away surprise. The column burned time instead of ground. With momentum stalled and routes now mapped, the geometry favors the defender. Open fields ahead become framed lanes, pre-sighted and tagged. The fight is about to tip from contact to containment, and the kill box is already sketched in the dirt. What stops a steel spear at full speed? A minefield that wasn't there an hour ago and drones that hunt the warmest metal. As the armor breaks into open ground, the lanes look clear. Then operators seed the approaches with automated mine-laying robots, fast and quiet, laying a thin, lethal curtain across the expected paths. Lead tanks see the first flashes under the tracks, halt to probe, and the whole file compresses. Recon drones hang overhead and tag each hull by roll and soft spot, command antenna arrays, ERA gaps, fuel stowage, troop doors. Channelized. Marked. Exposed. Tank crews brace for a classic duel, shells traded at range, an ATGM from a tree lean. They don't plan for a live obstacle berthing itself in front of the glacis. The curtain forces a turn in place or a blind push. Either choice costs seconds, and seconds stack. The radios start talking faster. Sappers dismount, but the ground is wrong and the air is busy. FPV teams spin up and sort targets the way a surgeon sorts tools. One pair goes for engine decks, where heat maps glow. Another angles for turret rings, that vulnerable seam where motion meets armor. Open hatches become traps, a straight line to crew space. Loitering pairs circle the immobilized, tag them with bursts, and hold them for artillery finishers that land with frightening rhythm. Each strike tightens the noose around the next vehicle in line. Mines create shape. Drones create certainty. Artillery delivers weight. 3 layers in motion yield one effect: immobilize the spear, isolate the stranded, annihilate what still shoots. You don't need huge numbers when each layer cues the next. You need order, timing, and a ledger of targets that updates every breath. It breaks in a moment you can call out. 2 T-90s at the point go silent. One takes a precision FPV right at the turret ring, jammed steel, no traverse, smoke rolling. The other tries to cheat the edge of a cratered track, slips, rides a mine, and detonates under the belly. The spearhead fractures. The rest pivot, but pivoting under watch is a slow kind of panic. Ground fires arrive like a door slamming. Guided rockets walk across the dismount teams that slog out to sweep lanes, and cluster rounds rip the gaps where cover doesn't exist. Bradley crews rake the flanks and chew at sighting systems. Leopard elements push the pressure up a notch, picking angles where frontal armor means less and optics matter more. Drones sit bunkers in place with stings on ports and periscopes, denying even the act of looking. Holyoukis Industrial Zone promises cover, but it acts like a net. FPVs thread long aisles, ride the light wells, and then drop into firing points. Roofs and rafters stop nothing. Tunnels, meant to move men and ammo, turn into relay lines. Small quadcopters slip into the dark, carry grenades, and let go at corners crews thought were safe. Overhead, loitering munitions punch through thin tops and find trucks with fuses still warm. Velocity turns to noise. Engines idle. Commands repeat. In roughly 20 minutes, the assault bleeds mass and loses its voice. Cohesion goes first, then initiative, then the sense that forward is possible. The converged fire plan doesn't just kill vehicles, it kills the plan those vehicles carried. With the spear broken and air power jammed, the fight moves to pursuit and interdiction. Rear depots start to glow, crossroads take fire, and the coastal routes pick up that telltale heat. The window for escape narrows as fast as the drones can fly, and every route that looked open now draws lines on a map no one on the other side wants to see. Armor doesn't outrun data. Integrated defense makes speed a liability. A sensor net finds you. Air defense clips your cover. EW cuts your timing. By the time steel closes, the shot is already cued. The future is multi-domain and fused. Drones map lanes, batteries wait fires, jammers blind seekers. One network, many hands. The stronghold is no longer a place, it's a live system that moves with contact and punishes rush. What wins the next fight, more armor, smarter sensors, or stronger EW? Comment your choice below and subscribe if you want the tactical mindset behind these outcomes. This is the story of momentum turned to wreckage by a network, not a single weapon.